Hello, and this is my half guide of the Turo spot. So, this spot is a duo spot, meaning that the two highest damaging players will get loot. And it's a spot with a pretty high gear requirement. You'll want similar defense to what you have for Abandoned Monastery. It's a bit harder than Seakraya. It's similar to or tiny harder than Abandoned Monastery. It's definitely not as hard as Ash Forest, but yeah. So, I should probably put back my other frigid fog before I forget. So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So the individual Mabu I will talk about. First is the most annoying one, the warrior. So when you hit it, it sometimes walks up to you. Okay, so basically it RNGs to decide if it's going to walk up to you or range you. But if it decides to range you, it commits to doing that for quite a while sometimes. I'll show you on a different warrior. We will keep doing it until, yep, there we go. So the challenge is figuring out how to reliably pull them. And to make this even more difficult, they have a very short reset range. So you can't pull them that far. They really like to misbehave. All of them do. Yep, this definitely doesn't work very well, does it? And the scout, it's not as bad, but you have a similar issue where this one is behaving. Usually with the scouts, okay, the scouts are a lot better behaved than the warrior, but they still have trouble sometimes. A lot of times with the scout, it will, okay, here we go. It does this rock attack, which also knocks you down. The scout doesn't take as long as the warrior to come up to you, but it's still something that you want to keep in mind, because if you can properly pull it, that's the best. Now the Zerker behaves very well. The Zerker just walks up to you and hits you like a real Zerker does. So, naturally the question is, how do you pull them? Should I talk about that yet? Or later? Yeah, I'll talk about that now, because that's really all there is to this half guide. Let me kill this. Oh no, wait, there's something more. So the spot has a mini-boss mechanic. When you get a message right here on your screen in yellow, you have to go to the boss spawn location. There will be 3 elite ones spawned. And you have to kill all 3 of the elites within a certain time frame to trigger the Ultutuka. The Ultutuka shows up soon after, but if you don't kill the elite soon enough, he loses interest and runs away. But if you kill them fast enough, it gets the Ultutuka can no longer hold its excitement because it has met its match. So anyways, that mechanic, you need to kill the Mabu within 75, I believe it is, meters of the boss spawn location. For this loop in particular, I avoid killing these because it is not close enough to the boss spawn location, and the Ultutuka will not appear. So keep in mind that sometimes the thingy will not work very well. So yeah. The Ultutuka drops lots of Kafra, it drops Kafra dust, and it has a very high drop rate of Ember. I usually got 1 Ember per 2 to 3 Ultutuka. And another cool thing about it is it drops a whole bunch of trash, but its Agris does not consume very much. So if you're a sweaty tryhard, you should click on your Agris right when you kill the Ultutuka, then click it off. It'll drop like, I think with it drops like 80 something trash. It's a whole lot. I think I've gotten it to drop over 100 when I had a scroll and Agris. So, pulling things. The scout, a lot of times if you hit it from range, it will walk up to you without doing its long range attack. Sometimes it'll still do its attack, but it has a much higher success rate than the warrior at actually walking up to you. And it usually won't stay away for as long. So if you can, what you want to do when you grab the warrior is range pull it the way you'd range pull anything else. It's not always practical to do that for reasons like what you see here. But if you can have two players pulling, that's always ideal, as if both of them have the proper pulling strategy. You could, like, I could pull this group, and you could pull this other group, and we could actually get things nicely. So let me just kill this, and then do some more. Do I? Nah, I'll leave this one, but I will kill the Zerker. The Zerker's the tankiest, by the way. So, yeah, position behind that one if you can only position behind one. So for this one, you'll see, I, from long range, grab the scout, range pull it, and I stop it right here. As if it goes to here, it'll reset. So it's not that bad if you only have to range pull one of them, but if you have to range pull multiple, then it becomes a problem. And as you might have already figured out, let's say you have two Zerkers and a warrior. You want to pull the two on top of the one warrior. Because it's always nice if you can avoid range pulling one. Now, another interesting pulling technique, it's kind of hard to do this solo, but I'll demonstrate. I just accept the fact these aren't going to be good. But do you see how this long range ability can hit them? And then get them somewhat nicely gathered, nicer than if I were to just go close range and chain lightning. Now the reason that one is especially nice is because, how to say, chain lightning to pull, you have to get a lot closer. And of course when you're closer to the warrior, you can't as quickly put distance between you and it, and that distance between you and the warrior is what will prevent it from doing its range attack. Again here, you will see me hit the warrior, the scout, and then these so I can range pull them successfully. Now, I guess not quite as successfully as I had hoped because of the reset, but this really gives you an idea of how difficult it is if you only have one puller to do this. Like when I do this with a duo partner, of course I will get these, and my duo partner will get these ones down here, and we will just sort of meet in the middle. It's also hard because, as you saw, this warrior resets if it goes to around here, and this Zerker resets if it goes really much higher at all than it is. So yes, two pullers. I cannot stress enough that you want to have two people who know how to pull if you do this. And you only have two people per group, so both of you have to know how to pull. It's not like Gaifa used to be, where you can have 3 potatoes and 2 pullers. Actually, you kind of wanted 5 pullers at Gaifa too. As weird as that sounds, because DPSers who pulled wouldn't mess up pulls. So I will demonstrate again my Lightning Storm High Voltage to aid in pulling. See? How with Chain Lightning, it's... oh, that hurt. It's not impossible, but it is a bit more difficult to put adequate distance between you and the Mabu before the warriors start ranging you, like you see with this one. I guess because there isn't that much to this one, maybe I'll go find another loop I like to do. Most people like the node one. I figure people have already seen that one, possibly. But I don't really like that one because it's infested with people very often. Oh yeah, by the way, if you have 2 people, instead of pulling this pack to the location I pulled it, well, honestly, I still like to do this when I have 2 people. However, duo groups sometimes like to pull them to here on the stairs, so they avoid resetting this warrior. The reason I pull it this way is it's cleaner and more relaxed and very nice. And my regular duo partner is a gigantic lazy potato, and he always likes it if he has an opportunity to not have to do anything. I think there was one more thing I wanted to do. Oh, yeah. Remember when I pulled this one with my lightning? You have to make sure that your lightning hits a central target. I cannot hit the scout, nor can I hit the warrior, and the Zerker is too far away. So I actually make sure that my crosshairs are on the totem, which allows me to hit all of them. But anyways, I'm going to try to find my other spot to show you, because I really like that spot too. I get lost here all the time, but I'm getting better at figuring out where this is. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get lost going to my other spot. I already know where it is. It's here. So, here's the other spot I like. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is also important. You know how I use high voltage here, whereas I would normally use combo. The reason for that is these do a lot of CC. They have a shout that does a small AoE stun. It also CCs behind them. Like a ton of CC. They have knockdown, they have knockback, they have stun. I think one has stiffen, I'm not sure. But they kind of spam their stun a lot of times, so yeah, it's quite bothersome. So I use my front guard on Lightning Storm a lot. And on Equilibrium Break, but yeah. So I guess I will do a little bit of this loop. The scout is about to reset. So don't worry about that scout. I'll show it next time. It's kind of hard to do because you sort of have to pull all of these a little ways that way or stop the scout too early. So I just get lazy and ignore the scout. But if you're a sweaty tryhard, then you never want to ignore the scout. So for this one, I just get these. These like to reset too. And then the warrior misbehaves, and the Zerker resets because I'm dumb and I'm supposed to pull them to here. There we go. Much better. And this is, again, one where ideally you would want 2 pullers. Like, it's possible to do solo, but it will always take longer, and you have a very high likelihood of exploding your pull. Now this next one, you can either pull it, I'm kind of going to overkill this, but whatever. You can either double pull it, or not double pull it. But if you don't double pull it, wait, I went the wrong way, I meant to go here. Then you have to go 3 and 3. Oh, I'm being watched. Where's this spoopy thing watching me? Maybe it's here. Maybe it's in the... Ah, it is in the tree. What a potato. I bet his box is gonna be in the tree too. Oh wow, that was lucky. I got cornstone. I got 2 cornstone. So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so, with this next one, you can either pull them, or, I mean, this is one that I absolutely can't do solo. So yeah, if you do this one, you definitely need 2 people to do it. Look at the potato zerker that I missed. Actually, thinking about it, I think I know how I would do it solo. Okay, never mind. I probably can't do it solo, but it's going to get messed up 99.9% of the time. I wasn't sure where to aim my thingy. I probably just have to get close enough to the zerker. No, it's gonna target the charm totem. Okay, whatever. I'll think about it at a different time. And then this one, you just kill these 3. And then this one, you can range pull the warrior, however, it misbehaves and resets at right around here. So, you have to make sure to stop it. And then you kill these, and then here is a very enjoyable pack. Is it this one or next one? It might be next one. No, it's next one. I'm dreaming. So this one, range pull the scout, so it's on top of the warrior. The zerker comes nicely to the warrior, and then you kill these. I have to kill these, so my next one will be nice. They would actually reset, but I just want to kill these, to be honest. Okay. So, here comes the most enjoyable one ever. Always misbehaving. But you can get so many of them. So it's worth putting up with the misbehaving. Sometimes it goes smoothly, and sometimes it doesn't, which is to be expected when you're gathering Mabu from 3 locations. It's definitely gone worse than this, but it should go better than this. Unless you have 2 pullers, then it will go quite nicely half the time. But half the time is the best you can hope for with a spot full of misbehaving warriors. That was enjoyable. And now for the scout one. I bring the scout. But I don't really want to pull anything, so I'll just start killing here. And then the scout's eventually going to come in, and because the scout isn't chonky like all of these, it's going to take lots of damage. Uh-oh. Okay, maybe I'm not going to get the scout. These things happen. Oh, how did I forget this? Okay, this is kind of, I don't know what to call it, an advanced pulling technique, with still plenty of room for error, but watch this. So the warrior, if you stay kind of, out of range of its melee range, and not far enough that it wants to range you, then, here, let me try to get a warrior. No, I can't get one alone. Nope, I can get one that just has 2. Okay, I can definitely get one alone. Okay. Then, you can get it to... We have to sync up. As he walks forward at the same rate I walk backwards. So if you need to pull it a very short distance, then when you activate the warrior, you can do that. So that one back there, where I wanted to pull the scout, you would have to pull the warrior, and this is how to do it. Because he walks forward at the same rate you walk backward, so you can do that. But don't try to do that over long distances. Now you see why I don't like to pull the scout. That's way too much work. Another thing you can do, I've had mixed luck with it, is if you put a whatever it's called on things, I forget what it's called. What was I going to say? Sorry, I don't remember what I was going to say. If I remember, I'll add it in the description.